Why I quit Eiyuden Chronicles. So I just beat Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core on PlayStation Extra. Good game. I had a lot of fun with it. I played the other Final Fantasy VIIs. I just wanted to learn more about Cloud and where he came from and stuff. I had a good time with this one. This game was short, only like 15 hours. So I was fiending for another RPG, JRPG to say. So I figured I'd try this one since it just popped up on PlayStation Plus. You know, I seen the little trailer, Eiyuden Chronicles, 100 characters in your team. Nice graphics, fully voice acted and whatnot. I mean, what's not to like there? But after about 12 hours, your boy was burnt out. I had to quit and uninstall. I'd rather play Slay the Spire, Dead Cells, watch One Piece. Hell, I'd rather cut the grass. Now don't get me wrong, this game has a lot of good to it. One thing I did enjoy about this game was the graphics. And some of the combat animations were really cool to watch. Especially some of the fights during the cutscenes. Like there was a couple fights with Noah and he had some one-on-one fights. Woo! Yeah, there was some hype fights there. And usually it's the cutscenes that keep me going in these games. But it wasn't enough in this case. I also was really happy with how much voice acting was done in this game and how well the voice actors did. It really helped me get more immersed into the story. And the story's not bad either, it's a good story. I kind of wish that they would have dug a little bit deeper on some of the heroes you find, like with their background story. But I do get it, it's 100 heroes. You're trying to build a big story and then make side stories for each hero. That's gonna be an extremely long game. There was a couple heroes I really wanted to try, but I just didn't get to them because I just couldn't play it anymore. But the half human, half shark guy seemed like a really cool concept and I really wanted to see him. Unfortunately, I never got to realize that. Now, I'm not a JRPG master, but sometimes I get the itch for one. But this game was a long ass itch. It felt like I had eczema or something. There was 3 really big reasons why I gave up on this game. Reason 1 was the combat. It's fun as first, but with so many heroes and enemies per turn, you're better off doing auto battle. So sometimes it feels like the game's playing itself because you just get comfortable hitting that auto battle button and just watching it play out. Because you don't want to sit there and go through every menu, click the same thing over and over and over. And it gets really dull after being in a dungeon or being in a cave and doing that same thing 30 plus times. Also, some of the special moves, while they're cool at first, they get a little tiresome watching them over and over and over and over. And I get it, you could change out your characters, but while you're in the dungeon with that team, that's what you're going to see. And I was kind of over it. And also, another thing is the boss fights were way too long. Some of the bosses took a good 20 to 25 minutes to beat. And I'm sure even the final bosses are further in the game. I bet they're even longer. I could go, set it to auto battle, make my dinner, and come back and they're still fighting. God damn. And after 10 minutes of going through the same thing, you're kind of ready to move on. Boss fight or not, the boss fights do not change that much from what I saw to justify it being that long, like second phases and stuff like that. The only time it usually takes me this long to beat a boss fight in a JRPG is when I'm significantly underpowered. But it didn't feel like in this game. It just felt like these bosses have either a crazy amount of health or just a dragged out fight. There's points in the game when they want you to do quests and missions where you need to follow the set path, or they tell you to go here, so you'll go there. But the problem with this is every single time you'll take a couple steps and then they stop for a little talking cutscene. Take another couple steps, stop, cutscene. Take another couple steps, stop. Let's talk about those little steps we took. These missions started to turn into just long ass yap sessions. It would just really kill the vibe of the mission. And it just didn't see the purpose of it. It might as well just been a cutscene from start to beginning instead of having me walk 4 steps, cutscene, 4 steps, cutscene, 4 steps, cutscene. At times I was getting lost in this game. That might just be user error because I would spend hours going from town to town trying to find heroes. The fact that the maps don't have names on top of the cities or below the cities or the places makes it a little bit trickier to know where to go. There was a couple other things that bothered me, but I think the overall summary is that it was really my own fault. I should have done a little bit more research before getting this game. I didn't know I was gonna have to do strategy fights with the army or have to do base building or upgrading. It's just a lot going on in that game, and I don't think I was prepared for it mentally. Some of these strategy fights and turn-based fights that you do with the army, I'm not into those kind of games. That kind of turned me off from the game. But Eiyuden Chronicles, I'm gonna get off your ass a little bit. This ain't a review, it's just a rant. I know y'all worked hard to make this game. It just wasn't for me. Hopefully it sold well, and hopefully you have a good fan base and some people enjoyed it. But me, I decided to delete that bit. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. My time is precious, especially when it comes to gaming at my age. I don't get as much time as I used to, so I really gotta make them count. I can't keep playing games hoping that I really get grabbed by it and makes me want to see it through to the end. There's literally thousands of games out there, especially me who loves indie games. There's a plethora of games that I can grab. So I'm just not gonna let this one game hold me hostage until I beat it. I'm sorry, Noah, I let your military down, but that military life ain't for me, my boy.